Welcome back to the News and Culture Show, where we talk all the latest news in Luton, all the events that are going on around the town, and fun things that you can get involved with. It's me, Laura Condor, your host, and my co-host, the lovely Paul Cooper, who you will have seen on Friday Night Live. And with me now is Amaia Whiteway. She is a CBT therapist with Total Wellbeing in Luton. But she's also a very keen gardener and will be able to talk to us about the importance of gardening when it comes to mental health. So it's really great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Laura.
So obviously Luton in Bloom are having quite a lot of things on at the moment. They've got a garden competition particularly. What kind of inspired you to get into gardening?
I think I've always loved the outdoors. I've always loved nature, particularly animals, and I enjoy cooking. I enjoy food, and I like to know where my food comes from. So being out in the garden, whether it's doing a bit of weeding or whether it's growing food or planting seeds, gives me the opportunity to be outdoors and engaging with nature and wildlife, and produces really nice food to eat and something nice to look at. It's good for me in terms of my body, my health, my well-being. Takes me away from screens, and I was really passionate about getting my children involved with the natural world. Unfortunately, there's many words that are being lost from children's vocabulary because they are not engaging with the world around them and nature. So I wanted them to know what the names were of trees. I wanted them to know where their food came from. So I guess that I wanted them to be able to look at the bugs under the rocks and find kind of fascination in if they find a frog or a toad in the garden, and really engage with the world around them, which then helps them to care about their environment. And I guess that's where I kind of it's all kind of circular. One thing feeds into the next.
Yeah. And did you find it helped with your own mental health being in the garden?
Yeah, I find that being out in the garden is so important for my well-being, and I really, really miss it. Especially during the winter months when there's less light, so you're working a lot of the time, so you might be indoors, so it's a real treat during the summer. I think it's brilliant that Luton in Bloom is trying to engage the community in getting involved with gardening and being outside, because it's a really, really good way for us to get in contact with other people in our community, so that we've got social opportunities, but also it's a less intense way of being able to engage socially with people. If you're just kind of working alongside people or kind of at an allotment, you're still out in the presence of others, but you don't have to kind of have intense conversation.
Can I just ask, for someone who knows literally nothing about gardening other than cutting the grass when I'm told to by my wife, if I was going to make a first start, someone that knows nothing, what would you recommend to be like a first start to try and grow something?
Okay, so are you thinking about something that you want to grow to eat, or are you thinking about something that you'd want to grow in the house that would be a plant, or what are you thinking of?
Right, plants would be a no-no because I'm not allowed to touch any of the house plants.
Okay.
So it would have to be something outside, or actually, right. So you're laughing at me there. Sorry, not the guest, but my co-host. The reason is because I always get told off I overwater everything.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not allowed to touch anything.
Yeah.
Because I've killed them.
Okay, a little bit too much TLC. Yeah. Okay, kill it with kindness.
Well, thank you. My wife wouldn't say that, but yeah, I've overwater things. And,
okay, so you want something that ideally is going to be low maintenance and that's going to give you a high yield for what you kind of invest in terms of time. So you probably want something that is going to come back time and time again. So something like rhubarb is really good. And it's also very easy to then cook it and stew it down, and very, very tasty. So you might have it as a crumble, you might have it as a pie, you might just have it with some yogurt, or you might just have it on its own. Also really, really healthy. Just put a bit of ginger and a bit of brown sugar, a bit of water, and there you go, Bob's your uncle. Things like raspberry bushes. If you can manage to dig a hole, put some raspberry bushes in, you'll get raspberries year after year after year. They're a really good investment.
Okay.
I guess those would be kind of two things that I would say would be, they're pretty difficult to kill, really, and will give you a lot of yield. Tomatoes as well.
Okay.
Really, really good.
So you don't need a greenhouse for tomatoes? Then?
No, you don't. The UK climate is such that actually we can grow a lot more things outside than we used to be able to. And there's nothing like a homegrown fresh tomato off a plant. That'll get you hooked.
Okay, so rhubarb, tomatoes, and raspberries.
Oh, and maybe some courgettes. They're also quite good.
Okay, my wife would like that because
Yeah.
she cooks a lot with courgettes.
The more you pick, the more will grow. But you've got to keep on top of them, otherwise you'll end up with marrows.
Oh, they get quite large.
They do, yes,
I had no
sizable. Yeah. Pumpkins also reasonably easy to grow and quite fun if you've got
so
children.
The courgettes we buy in the shop.
Yes.
If you leave them and you keep, they will just get
They'll
larger.
they'll end up like this. Yeah.
What, like a couple of feet across?
Yeah, they're massive.
Crumbs. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
You learn something new every day, Paul.
Well,
So what would you recommend for mental health when it comes to gardening? What do you think is particularly important for your clients?
I think even just getting out in a garden is wonderful. Just engaging with the things that you can see, the things that you can smell, the things that you can hear. That's just the first step. Taking you away from the internal battle with your thoughts and looking at the colours, noticing the smells, watching the bees, listening to the birds. So it doesn't have to be that you're actually doing the gardening. You might just start off by visiting some gardens or just getting outside and noticing what other people are are doing. The seasons give such an opportunity to be able to notice the changes. So whether it's noticing buds coming in the spring that you can see, or noticing the spikes from bulbs coming up from the ground, noticing that you see the flowers maybe on an apple tree, and then that the bees will pollinate it, and then you'll start to see the tiny, tiny little apples that will grow and grow and grow. So just really engaging with what's around you and stopping and watching, listening, touching, smelling, just to be present.
So from your mental health work, does this have a definite, strong sort of connection in improving people's mental health? Like if they feel edgy, anxious, or depression, can it help with any of these things?
Yeah, so if we're thinking about people that are feeling anxious, okay, you've got a lot of adrenaline in your body. So your flight, fight reaction. If you've got a lot of adrenaline coursing through your body, one of the best things for you to do is to move. So if you can take yourself for a little bit of a walk outside and take your focus to what you can see rather than all of the anxious thoughts that are going on in your mind, that external focus is really, really good in being able to improve your well-being. When we're thinking about being mindful, it's about being present in the moment in a non-judgmental way, and you can do that anywhere, but in nature's a really lovely place to start.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, Amaia. I really appreciate you coming in and talking about how amazing gardening is for your mental health, and it's really, you can tell you're so passionate about it, and it's lovely to hear.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Paul.
God bless. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
And thanks for some beginner's tips.
Yeah, I'll check up on how your tomatoes are doing.
I'll have to try it now.
Or your courgettes.
There'll be no escaping now. Thank you.
Oh, well, so with us at Total Wellbeing, we have actually got a gardening group that has been set up. I'm pretty sure that we're on Facebook, but you can find us at www.totalwellbeing.org.
That's easy to remember. TotalWellbeing.org.
I believe that's that. But if you search Total Wellbeing Luton, in fact it'll be totalwellbeingluton.org. If you search Total Wellbeing Luton, we will come up. You'll be able to refer yourselves or give us a call on 0300 555 4152.
Oh, splendid.
Well remembered.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, are you going to get involved in a community garden then, Paul?
Sorry, I'm going to get involved in the community garden.
Yeah, or in a community garden.
Oh crumbs! I think that's about 10 steps too far for me. Right. Yeah, I think a good start for me. I mean, like Amaia said, maybe try some tomatoes or courgettes, something simple that I can't kill. Like I said, at home, I'm not allowed to touch the plants. Literally, I'm not allowed to touch them.
How much water are you putting in there? I'm really concerned about your plants.
Well, it's just well, just to be innocent, it's just the case of sometimes I've got across and I've noticed they seem a bit dry, so I put water in, and when they've sort of died.
And then your wife started shouting.
Yeah, so then I've gotten in a lot of trouble. So I'm not allowed to touch anything now.
So you just do the grass in the garden at the minute.
Well, when I'm told to, yeah.
I don't think it's when you're told.
Yeah,
I
really am terrible. Like, it's if I have to be told off. Like, you need to go and. Yes, but in fairness, we do it. We do it together. So
well, that's lovely. Does she do the plants in the garden as well? Well,
we're not really gardening people. Oh. So we do the lawn, and I've recently gone out with my big reciprocating saw, and I've cut down a tree that was causing problems. But anything that looks sort of pretty, you have to look over the fence to my next door neighbour. Yeah.
I think that's a bit like my garden. I've got
well, it's true. My next door neighbour, Rowley, bless him, he's a genius.
Oh.
He does all these. I've got no idea what they're called, but the pretty flowers that you put out at this time of the year, and so he'll be doing all of that, and everything looks wonderful. But to me, though, it just I know this sounds awful, but to me it just looks like something that's just a lot of hard work, and it's I don't get it.
You're not a keen green finger then?
I don't get it at all. I know that sounds a bit pathetic, but
it doesn't.
I mean, seriously, the people that get it, I mean, God love them. I think it's great. I mean, I've got a neighbour, husband and wife, that they've each got their own allotment, and they live in the place. I honestly don't get it.
Well, if you've got a community garden, Luton and Bloom are running a competition where you can win £500, which is quite a lot of money, to get a fair few new plants. So I definitely keep an eye out for the posters. It's supported by Luton Rising as always. But if you're a keen gardener or involved in a community garden, I definitely think it's worth putting your garden in.
So what have people got to do to enter for the £500 then?
They've got to put their community garden together, send in some pictures to Luton Bloom, and then they'll kind of judge it. They'll do a registration form. They'll come out, look at your garden, see what you've done, judge it. If you win, you get £500. Runners up get 100, which is still maybe bob. So, if you're a keen gardener or you're involved in a community garden, I definitely give it a go. There's no harm in doing it. You could win £500 to put even more flowers into your lovely garden. And so joining us now, we've got Salma Khan, the project coordinator at Luton Foodbank. Now, Salma's been with Luton Foodbank, and Luton Foodbank are a key charity partner with Inspire FM. So it's something we're really passionate about. And she's going to talk to us all about the colour run that they've got going on the 5th of July. And they're looking for people to sign up. Now, you don't all have to run, I don't believe, but we'll ask Salma that. But it's going to be a really fun day, and they want as many people involved as possible so they can raise as much money as they can for Luton Foodbank, which is, of course, really close to Inspire FM's heart. So welcome to our show, Salma.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hi, Salma.
Walaikum salam. It's really good to hear about the Was it the flowers, the competition? I just got the last bit of it.
Well, no, it's great to hear. I mean, are you involved in a community garden yourself?
No, I just hear about a lot going on about growing your own food and, like the competitions that are happening locally. I mean, we also do some stuff with our clients where we're teaching them to grow, plants, like not plants, herbs and stuff. So they're able to add them to, the food parcels and their cooking. So I think it's fantastic that, a lot's going on and the community gardens and everything.
That is amazing. I didn't know that you do that. And I think that's really important as well, that people are able to grow their own food, because if they're in food poverty, it's an easy way to access food, especially fresh food that they wouldn't normally have access to potentially.
Absolutely. So moving on to the colour run. So it's still, I guess, we're promoting the outdoors, aren't we? Getting people healthy, getting people to walk, run, colour dash, dance, all the way through Wardown Park, which is a really beautiful park, actually. And along the way, we'll be dashing colour. And this year we've added bubbles.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun event where, the help of Bav Shah, we're trying to get 1,000 runners. It's all about encouraging people just to, if they don't do any exercise, just take the leap. It's a fun thing to do. And at the same time, summer's coming up and, a lot of the children will be off school, and that extra meal can really, affect the parents' pockets, providing that. And the usage of food bank will go up, and we want to be able to support all those families, and we want them to be able to access us and know that we're there. So it's like a twofold effect where we're trying to raise awareness that we're here for you, and also raise money so we have enough food for them if they need us.
That's fantastic. So is it something that you're encouraging families and children to take part in as well? It's not just adults that are involved in the colour run?
Absolutely, anybody can come to it. You can walk, run, we've had people with babies running, walking, we've had people in pushchairs. We don't say no to anybody. You can come, we'll make it work. And it's just a fun day out, I think.
So how far is the run going to be, Salma?
Well, it's 5K. So it's not too difficult. Anybody can do it. I mean, I don't train. And I wouldn't say I do the full 5K because obviously I'm part of the organising, but it is fun throwing colour along the way. We have like 6 different stations with different colours, and people just love it. It is a really nice day. You do get messy, and even more messier this year because we'll have the bubbles. Last year it rained, and I was thinking that no one's going to turn up, and we had like over 500 people and they loved it. Like you could just see they were so happy. It just goes to show that, nothing stops people when they want to do something. And I guess it was one of the best ones yet. I mean, the rain just made the coloured powder look even more gory, and it was horrible, but they loved it. So, and that's the main thing.
And so those people that are taking part, is it a sponsorship type system, or do they have to pay to take part? How does the raising the money side of it work for Luton Foodbank?
So they can, if some people don't like fundraising, so we wanted to make it really easy. So if a child wants to take part, they just do £15 registration, and if it's an adult, it's £20, and all that money will go towards a child parcel and an adult parcel. We've got headline sponsors, Volker Highways, and we'll be providing free t-shirt, medal, sunglasses, for those who take part, but you have to get your registration in before a certain time because we've got to get the t-shirts printed and everything. So, and prepare for the colour run. So, and everything that people register with goes towards a food parcel.
Wow.
So, what's the location? What's the route that you go on?
It's Wardown Park, so we're doing the same route as the park run.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So, where would you? So that 5K. That's 5,000.
You go around. Yeah. You go around. I think it's 3. There's a way they describe it. It's 3 times round the park, and there's a loop at one part of it. So they've worked it out, and they do it every week anyway on a Saturday.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So that's the bit where the serpentine is. So all around that bit, and then round.
Yeah. It's really scenic route. It's really lovely. You just go over the bridge all the way around, and then near the cafe bit. Yeah, I'm not good at describing things, and like tennis courts you go around as well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It is lovely. It is really nice. You've been there before, haven't you? That we've been to one, haven't you?
I haven't been to one. I'm definitely going to this year because I know Inspire FM we're all going this year because Brother Tarek is going to be running, and we've all been told that we have to run as well. I'll be definitely getting some social media content for that because no doubt our followers will find that very amusing, seeing us in quite a state. No doubt, me as well. Obviously, this has kind of been a big thing this last year. How many people do you want this year?
So realistically, we can 500 is a good number, 600 is a good number for us. But Bav said, why don't we do 1,000? And I said, okay, why not? Let's try doing 1,000 because we do want to fundraise as well. There's an element of fundraising, and people that can't take part, they can also donate. But it'd be nice to get more people out. We do usually have the same people that take part again, which is really nice that they return. And then we have some new faces. So it's good to have more spaces for more people to join in. And I think, from like the colour run and these kind of activities, they've got the health fest straight after, which is really nice because they can take part in that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot I've got a bit of health fest that day as well. Oh, God,
yeah.
Busy day that day, busy day. So if someone hasn't kind of like participated before and is a bit like nervous, what would you say to them?
Oh, just listen to your body, take your time, do what you want. You don't have to run it. Not nobody, but some people do take it seriously. They want to win it. Some people want to have the largest team because we've got different trophies, haven't we? So we've got the largest team. We've got the fastest runner, a superstar chosen by the chair. We had the fastest youngest runner, and I think the largest team. I don't know if I've said that before, but we have different, and people like to go for different things, and you could just walk and just enjoy it. Some people just take their time with their friends, have a chat and go all the way around, which is lovely. Why not?
Oh, so you can just walk it then if you're worried about health issues, because I have quite bad asthma. So you can walk, can you?
Absolutely. And if you don't want colour on you, you can always say no, put your hand up. They're not going to get you the colour if you don't want it. Some people actually say, can you put more colour on me? So it's just really relaxed. Like you can just come, have a walk and just enjoy yourself.
Okay.
I think it's probably a great way of doing a 5K without having to worry about whether
training up for it or something. Yeah.
The embarrassment of where, like, if you're going to a proper 5K where people take it really seriously and you're like having to run and like take it seriously. I think this one's sounds very relaxed and probably more my thing. I don't know about you, Paul, but
it sounds for me. It sounds interesting. I've had a lot of problems with very bad asthma over the last few years. I've had a lot of steroids and things like that. And I actually get scared to actually do things like exercise, especially if the air is cold. In the wintertime, I literally get scared to go out of the house because cold air will set me off, and I can get ill very, very quickly. So if it's going to be in the warm and I can walk in, that sounds like something that I'd be happy to give it a go.
Well, I shall expect you to see you there. So
the boss has spoken.
Yeah. Is the colour safe? Just if anyone's quite concerned about, especially with people like us that have got asthma, about getting that sort of thing, is it sort of safe for someone that is perhaps issues?
Colour is safe, but I would recommend saying to people when you're going past that don't get me with colour, not to your face anyway, because I don't know what reaction it would have with your, if you take it in your mouth or inhale it. So I would say we've never had any issues. We did have one issue where it wouldn't come out of somebody's hair. It did eventually come out, but it took a few washes. So if you're quite precious about your hair, I would say cover it.
What was the shade of colour that wouldn't come out then?
I think it might have been a blue or a purple, because I remember her saying to me, "It's not coming out my hair," and I felt really, really bad. And because she was blonde, it's harder to come out, isn't it? And so I will say that, if you, don't want it in your hair, just keep your hair covered. I mean, I've been okay because obviously I cover my head so it doesn't get into my hair. But yeah, that protects me. So you might want to wear a hijab for the day.
this is a bit off topic, but obviously transitional protection for children on free school meals ends this academic year. Is that something you're kind of concerned about as Luton Foodbank, where children potentially that do get free school meals now are not going to have that option there?
Yes. I mean, every year we do the colour run for the holiday meals, and we try to support, you know, children that are on free school meals and those that are not on free school meals, because anybody can find themselves in a crisis. In particular, it will be those families that rely on free school meals, won't it? So, yeah, we're there for everybody.
Salma, can I just ask you, just to you know, because some, I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm actually asking. I'm sure if it's popped into my mind just now, listeners might be thinking, how much of a problem is food insecurity for many of our residents here?
It's hard to say. You know, we try, you know, this is a question we ask ourselves as well, that if poverty is that high, I think I was looking at figures today, around 39%, the poverty in Luton. Don't quote me on it because I read so many statistics and I'm reading new statistics every day. I think I put one up the other day. But we're trying to reach all those people, and some people won't come forward. And we want them to come forward if they need us. And there will be some people that think it's not for them, or it's different factors that we're trying to, you know, strategically manage and think, like, is it because people are not aware of us, or is it people can't access us, or is it that the food isn't right? So we're constantly assessing that, thinking, you know, why are people not using us more, or are we reaching the right people? But I don't think that we're reaching everybody, because the level of poverty is pretty high. I don't know if I answered your question. I think I went off somehow.
No, I think that's pretty accurate. So if someone wants to take part in the colour run, how do they enter?
It's really easy. It's an Eventbrite link, and I'm sure Tariq has shared that already. He's trying to get an Inspire FM team together, and that could be with the listeners as well. It literally takes a minute, I think, and you just it's really easy. If you have used Eventbrite before, I guess if you haven't, you might just have to register, but it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today, Salma. Sorry.
That's all right.
And we hope you have a wonderful day. But yeah, thank you. I think if you want to take part in the colour run, I definitely will be there.
What was the date again, please, Salma?
5th of July, Saturday.
5th of
10
July.
o'clock. Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time today, and we'll speak to you soon. Assalamu alaikum, Salma.
Walaikum salam. Take care.
Thank you. Well, I don't know about you, Paul, but I'll definitely. Well, we don't get a choice at Inspire FM. We've been told we are there as a team, and we have to take part.
Yeah.
And you are now part of that team.
Well, if I can walk, I'll be happy to. If I try and run, I know I'll set my asthma off, and I'll be really ill.
Yeah,
so.
me and you will have to walk together, because I'll be also struggling. I can't run. I tried to run yesterday and it was awful.
Yeah.
So that's all for News and Culture Show this week. Thank you so much for joining us from me and Paul. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum.